a little bit wide maybe. I'll tell you why is while you put the top on, they might be looking at you, the lions.
What?
You go a little bit wide so you can see all of them. Just the group here close to us. Yeah, like that. Perfect. And then you can put your top on. They might look at you while you do that, so just put it on nice and slow.
Nice and slow.
Nice and slow.
Oh, weird. Look at those eyes.
Yeah,
Oh.
nice and slow. You shouldn't go lower down. It's not dangerous, don't worry. Sit down. Okay. Nice and slow.
Don't go.
That was also with the vehicle coming past, all the movement. That was interesting. More than I expected.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to
Don't
scare
worry.
them away.
It's not a train smash. It was just a bit of a strange thing for them to see the jacket. Give them a second. I mean, there's hardly actually anything left there now. It's part of the other reason as well. There's not much food left. Have a look at the bones here in the foreground. Alicia, don't feel bad. I know you're feeling a bit...
No, I'm feeling terrible now. I scared them away.
You didn't scare them away, don't worry. It's a behavioural thing. Maybe it was a bit more dramatic response than we expected. Let's just see that.
Copy, thanks a lot, my man. Nkuhumas were lovely. Hopefully we see them a bit later tonight.
Yeah, for sure. The food is finished. Hopefully they'll stick around this area or maybe even around back to Gari Waterhole if they remember the old haunt.
Oh, absolutely. I'll hold some.
Cool, man. Did your heart jump a bit there?
No, I didn't jump. I just didn't want them to jump.
Yeah, don't worry. There they're moving around the right-hand side as well.
Are you disappointed now?
No, don't be.
Okay.
It's a good lesson we've learned around these lions now, but they're not stressed. I mean, there you can see the young one chasing the other one again. They're playing around. It was just a bit of a sort of an instant thing. Also, the other vehicle was just pulling out at the time. There were people in the background of it, and maybe just a movement. Sometimes with clothing moving like that, it's just a bit of an odd movement for them. So don't be too bothered by it. You can see they didn't run away and terrified, scared. It was just a bit of a strange thing for them. So it was something that if an elephant arrived, it would be much more stressful for them because it actually chased them off. This one is even going to come back, so I really don't feel bad about it. In fact, it was a nice bit of behavior. I'm sure a couple of people jumped on the edge of their seat when that happened. But really, it's nothing that's, it was a moment thing rather than a stressful experience. Hey?
Did you jump?
No, I sort of semi-expected it. I mean, I could have told you to wait, I guess, but I've seen much worse things happen around lions. Oof. Actually, thinking of lions, I like lions a lot. I mean, obviously, like everyone else, I'm a big fan of leopard. They're amazing, beautiful animals, but especially in Pilanesberg, I did a lot of work with and around lions. Well, Gus van Dijk, I mentioned him earlier. I don't know. We caught a lot of lions as well in different reserves to relocate to others, and put it this way, I have had situations where I've had to jump with lions. I remember once Gus, his Tswana name actually was Raditau, the man of the lion. And we had to catch 2 lions, the lionesses, in a group of about 9 or 10. At one stage we were busy trying to load them into the back of the bakkie with 2 other lionesses charging into about 4 or 5 meters behind us every now and again. So in those cases I jumped. This was just a little bit of interaction. Let's go have a look at them actually, now that they have dispersed slightly.
I think you jumped just a little bit because you really did grab me by hit me down.
No, but you weren't that high up. I mean, that's the other thing as well. I mean, it's difficult because you guys couldn't see what was happening, literally behind the camera. It wasn't the fact that you were moving. It was the fact that as you put your arm into the sleeve of the jacket, the side of the jacket suddenly folds open.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, you get those, animals do parley erection, where they'd stand their hair up on their back, like warthogs or animals, and the hair stands up to make themselves look a bit bigger. I can imagine you sitting there, especially you've got quite a small frame, and it's Herman's jacket you're putting on. So suddenly you go from the size that you are, and you double in size instantly, and that can be a bit strange for them. They can't comprehend how can that animal that's moving there suddenly just double in size. It's not something they can understand typically around it. So you remember I've said for walks, rather than having a rifle, I'd much rather have a big umbrella with big teeth painted on it. And if something charges you, just open the umbrella and suddenly this animal just sees you massively blossom in size, and you have these big teeth painted on it, and that would intimidate them much more than a loud sound from a rifle. It was sort of like that. So just to explain the happening behind that a bit. But now, nice, we can move around a bit. Let's go and see some of the other activity going on. There's the lioness moving up there as well, to see where they're heading to. You see the giraffe leg there, under the bush. You see one of the young ones was feeding earlier, left that alone as well.
Oh, this is so exciting, huh?
Super exciting.
Hey?
Alright, let's try and see what these cats are up to. Like I said, you probably heard me on the radio just talking to Greg. Now lions are actually water independent. You know, the other day there was a question from someone that was a bit shy having the name mentioned, which is why they didn't ask the question. Yeah, you can see they're all chilling out here. Nice and relaxed. Asking about lions and elephant living in desert environments, and with lions, something people don't always realize. In fact, I'd been guiding for a year or two before I knew it, and it was Gus that told it to me, and subsequently read it in various places. Lions are actually water independent. A lion doesn't need to drink water. Not for a day or two. I mean, they don't need to drink water for weeks and months at end. They can survive without water totally, which is why they can survive in desert-type environments, as long as there's food, obviously, and enough food. Imagine if you're not drinking water and then you're not eating enough, then it becomes quite difficult. But if there's enough food around, they can survive without water. The point I'm trying to get to is that if there is water, obviously they will utilize it. Anything likes drinking water. Even things like gemsbuck and eland, springbuck, antelopes that can live for many months without drinking a single drop of water. If there is water, they will drink. And especially with lions, after they've had a big feed like this, they would often drink. Now again, there's lots of water around at the moment. There's even a bit of water flowing just down in the drainage line here, but I think they could stick around the area a bit. Maybe even if we're lucky, come past Gowrie Waterhole. That's obviously all up in the air, relatively speaking. It's a nice overcast, cool day. I must admit, I didn't expect us to still be sitting here. When we looked back just now, when that bit of drizzle started, there was rain coming. That's why Greg left, and it was certainly coming in from that direction, but it stopped for now. But with it being cool like this, the food being finished, they might move on a little bit. But I'm hoping we might find them this afternoon again as well, just depending on where they head to. Got nice full bellies now. They're not stuffed, but they're pretty full. So you can see there, a bit of sleeping is going to be at the order of the day. A bit of grooming, cleaning each other, making sure they're nice and clean. But a large part of the day will now just be spent lying around, digesting, being happy that they've got full bellies. So I'm just going to go a little bit forward again. I'm loving that view, exactly the lioness you're looking at as well, but I want to try and get one of the things I'm enjoying about this time of year is that it is so lush, and often people get frustrated by all the grass and things that they think's in their way, but look at that. It's just an amazing view through the grass like that. I love it.